I finally got my hands on the Call of Duty Vanguard beta, and boy do I have some real dandy thoughts on this thing, cause yeesh. Now, before we start today's video, don't forget that if you enjoyed it, leave it a nice, thick, and juicy like as always. Of course, if you enjoy this kind of content, you want more like it, be sure to hit that big red sexy subscribe button right underneath the video. Also gotta say I've been streaming a ton lately. It's been awesome hanging out with you guys on stream. If you want to swing by and say hi, be sure to hit that notification bell. Last but not least, gotta thank my channel members. You guys help make these videos possible. If you join, get access to the exclusive perks that they get, and be sure to check out that blue join button. Anyway, let's begin. So before I tried the Vanguard beta, I had a few thoughts on it. Things like suppression and the kind of door thing from modern warfare coming back wasn't exactly my cup of tea, but it still intrigued me because they added a bit of destructibility to it. It's World War II, and as you guys know, I'm a sucker for history games. Like I also said numerous times in my previous video about Vanguard, but then there were other things as well. Things like, of course, it's on the Modern Warfare engine, which is a positive, but then again, there's also the mounting coming back. It didn't seem like it knew what it wanted to be, and then there's also the dreaded SBMM, and we're gonna get into all that. What were my thoughts once I got into the gameplay? And what are my initial impressions? Well, first of all, like I already said, the engine is gorgeous. There's no denying that. That's going to be a positive no matter what. I think the Modern Warfare engine just looks very, very beautiful, and it does justice to the various environments that are shown off in the maps that take place in seemingly almost every theater of World War II that I've seen so far. It's really, really cool to see how they've gone about this. Another thing that I want to say is a positive is the environmental destruction. So like I touched on, the kind of modern warfare thing that was going on way back in 2019, a lot of those issues of just hiding behind doors all the time and sitting in rooms, they seem to be gone. And that's why I really like this aspect. I feel like Sledgehammer was maybe forced to put this element back in here, and they're like, okay, we can do it, but with a twist. And even way back then in videos where I talked about Modern Warfare, I thought destruction would be a nice way to counter that. As you know, I'm primarily a Battlefield channel, so destruction's kind of like something I like in general, but it does really help, especially in a game like COD, to do it, I'd say in a limited manner, because it opens up more pathways throughout the map while not entirely changing it, so it maintains its identity, but it does make for less campy. Like the issues of camping behind doors is far less. Sure, someone might sit behind a door and shoot you through it, but then that issue isn't going to be there for the rest of the match, which I think is really cool, and I am glad that they added that level of destruction. I know there's also a thought, oh, people are just going to hide in these tiny little corners. It didn't seem that way so far, but at the end of the day, if you just spray down a door, it's not like it's going to be sitting there permanently and they're going to have this one little peephole to look through. So they might get you once or twice, but after that, they're probably not going to be able to get you because you just got to really honestly shoot back at them, even if you don't kill them necessarily. Now, after that, that's about where my positives end for Vanguard so far. It's just yeesh. So first up on the negatives, as we get to those, is going to be the sound design. Is there even sound? I don't know. I think there is. I'm not really sure. I think the footsteps are the things most people have mentioned. I also want to say that all the guns sound like CGI pea shooters, and that's not really fun. So we'll get past that. Now, the mounting and the blind fire, which I talked about. My God, who asked for these mechanics? I mean, Jesus Christ. Day one, sure, not a problem. I didn't see a ton of people mounting. There was this one guy in the footage somewhere in here where he's just kind of laying prone, but he's not mounted on anything. You'll even see me mount a little bit here and there. Just gotta have a little bit of a head glitch. But it's exactly what it says it is. I mean, it's basically they took a head glitch and they made it a feature. Okay. And the same kind of a deal with the blind fire. I can see it be such a campy type of thing in this game. It's legit for that type of player, and I don't really like it at all. And well, I know someone might be like, oh, well, I didn't see a lot of people out here using the blind fire and all this stuff. Day one, no, they're not going to. Day 30, day 90, when the game actually releases and people are putting tons of hours into this, you think they're not going to learn those power positions? Grab their MG42 and just spray down these 3-lane maps? That's definitely going to be a thing. It's really, really going to be a thing. I can practically guarantee it. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now, as for the customization, I wanted to put this in the positive because it is pretty much the gunsmith being brought back from Modern Warfare 2019. And as cool as it seems to be, the 10 attachments seems to be a bit of an overkill. 5 to 6 attachments, cool. I get it. You can kind of really customize a loadout. For me personally, I'd maybe lean more towards 5 because you kind of have to give up and have a kind of weakness on your weapon while also kind of speccing it out for kind of a specific playstyle you're going for. Either way, 5 to 6 is about the sweet spot. 10, yeesh, that is quite a bit. I mean, I know that there's the whole modern sort of attachments going on here. I'm not really bothered by that, but I don't think there were any Jerrys wandering into France looking like tactical Spec Ops Hans, you know, just going around with a billion attachments on their STGs. I just don't think that's the case, and it is just weird seeing so many attachments here. I guess I could get it in Modern Warfare 2. That could potentially be coming next year, but for a World War II game, I don't know. And then there's Suppression. Suppression is like the worst possible mechanic I can possibly think of to include in a casual game. Again, as a primarily Battlefield player, Suppression was something that was complained about in Battlefield 3, 4, 1. They finally made it visual only in Battlefield 5, and that's probably the only thing that they ever got right. Now, the way Suppression works in Battlefield is you get shot at by someone, they lay down suppressive fire, it makes your aim kind of go all haywire if you're in a gunfight, and people didn't like that because it took the control out of your hands. Just because your character might mess up their aim when they are suppressed doesn't necessarily mean that you as a player will, so it was a bit harmful to players who just wanted to aim back and shoot back, especially when you're being shot at by, say, a sniper or an LMG just way across the field. You have no way to really counter that. Now in Vanguard, the way that it works, and it's almost worse. So imagine stun grenades, but instead every time you get shot at, you're getting stun grenaded. I mean, just incredible, right? Just, it sounds like an incredible mechanic. I genuinely don't know what genius put this in here, but they deserve a Nobel Prize because wow. I mean, I tell you what, it's so good. So, oh wait, so sorry, I had a bit of a stroke. No, it's fucking terrible. This is one of the worst mechanics I've ever seen implemented into an FPS game. I genuinely don't know what they were thinking when they decided to put this in here. My God. I mean, think about it. You're getting shot at and you're trying to dodge around a corner or something, but you're gonna die because the game just slows you down and forces you to die around that corner. You might as well not ever try to run away from anything, even if you have a disadvantage and you need to get out of that gunfight. You can't. You're forced to fight in that gunfight. And to me, again, it kind of eliminates the skill gap a little bit. So I hate that. I hate the mechanic. There really are not a lot of positives about this beta. I know it's a beta and things are subject to change. Speaking of, the Xbox and PC players had some pretty insane bugs and glitches that I'll put up on screen. I mean, Jesus. Personally, for me, I didn't run into a ton of crazy ones like this because I was on PlayStation, which you know is Call of Duty's baby platform. But I did have a few netcode issues here and there, but that's kind of to be expected with Call of Dopamine. So in general, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts on the beta down below. I don't think that I'm going to be purchasing this game, especially not on day one. Maybe on sale. The campaign looks interesting. Other than that, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It looks like the same old thing, and we haven't even talked about the SBMM. Or apparently there's engagement-based matchmaking now, so we get a double dose of that. So much fun. Let me know your thoughts down below. What did you guys think of the beta? I'll see you guys in the next video.